it got difficult. We were a big company. There weren't as many growth opportunities, and just compound growth of 20, 30% is difficult to achieve year after year after year. So we started doing some not so good accounting. In healthcare, the biggest issue, the trick, is revenue recognition, which it is in many businesses. You have contracts with HMOs, Medicare, private companies, you have a lot of bad debt. So what you charge the patient and what you eventually collect are very different. So you have to make adjustments to that revenue to come up with a net receivable number that's a good number. As it became difficult to make our numbers, maybe we missed street estimates by a penny, we would say, well, maybe bad debts aren't 10% of revenue, they're going to be 8%. And we would change that, our basis for the accounting for bad debts. Not fraud, certainly not good accounting. For those of you who are accounting majors, you understand you don't change your underlying accounting principles to achieve a number. You change those principles when it really dictates the circumstances to say you should. But we did it to make our numbers. Everything was fine until 1996, 10 years of being a public company. And we'd completed our second quarter, and we'd missed our numbers really badly. And the street was picking up that our days in AR were growing, our cash flow didn't seem to be what it should be. And Bill Owens, who was my chief accountant, and I just felt like we could not play with the reserves anymore. It was being too transparent. And it was time to report a bad quarter. We went into Richard's office and we showed him the numbers and we told him. And he said, no. Have you guys lost your minds? He said, we can't do that. He said, the analysts are going to put sales on the stock. It's going to crash. We're going to be sued by stockholders. Your stock options are going to be worthless. You're not going to be the rock stars in Birmingham anymore. He said, we can't do that. And he said, you know, look, and he's cult-like. He put on his salesman hat and he said, now look, healthcare is the biggest business in the United States. We're a small part of it. He said, we can get into the acute care hospital business and become, if not the largest, one of the largest companies in the country. But he said, I can't do it if y'all screw this up by reporting these bad numbers. And he said, y'all done things to the numbers before, you know, capitalizing costs, changing estimates. He said, there's got to be something you can do to get us past this little bump in the road. And Bill Owens, my chief accountant, who had worked for our auditors, said, Richard, said, look, we have 1,500 general ledgers. He said, I can make entries small enough that the auditors won't look at them. And he was very clear. He said, I will be crediting revenue that doesn't exist and debiting assets that don't exist. I was intimidated by Richard. I'm ashamed to admit it, but I did not have the courage to stand up to him at that point. I knew he had a gun in his briefcase. I had seen him get so angry about small things that I could not think of causing his net worth to go down by several $100 million. And I believed in the company. We were a good company, and I wanted the party to keep going on. I'll be honest with you. I did not want to report bad numbers either. So that night, Bill Owens cooked